Good morning, everybody. Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown. This week featuring
Wake up, wake up.
Can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up.
Make it strong, please. Hey. Ho. Hey.
Wake up, wake up.
Ho. No, really, can I have some coffee?
Wake up.
Hey everybody! It's a Friday, June 30th.
We're doing yoga?
Yeah, I'm voguing.
Oh.
You guys, I'm going to fill in for Madonna on her tour this summer.
Work.
Now that she's officially a bacterial girl.
Okay,
We'll
we'll get to that. We'll explain all of this later. But welcome. It's June 30th. It's the last day of June, which means July and the crazy season, because it's already the busy season. I hate when people call July and August the busy season. I'm like, it's all busy. It's just beyond for July and August.
In case you didn't know, this is also the 3rd anniversary show of Wake Up in Provincetown. Thank you, everybody.
We did it.
And for those of you who have been with us since that July 2nd, 2020 show, thank you for watching every
Cheers.
week.
We did it.
We did it.
Yeah,
We're still doing it. Thank you for being here and thank you for watching. We've got a really wonderful show for you today. I got to get to know Tim Convery of Timscapes a couple of weeks ago in his really, really fun, colorful shop. You're going to see that very, very soon. Who else are we talking today with?
I met up with Carney, who is one of the artist residents at the Commons, to talk about the work she's working on. We also have the crew from the Sondheim show at the Peregrine Theater coming in to perform for you, and we're also going to chat with a couple members of that crew.
This is a triumphant return for Peregrine. They haven't done a show since before the pandemic, so it's been a very long 4 years. And I know everybody's really excited to have them back, especially with something like a Sondheim show.
Yeah. We also have Jenn, Bradley, and Michael Steutz coming in.
Michael's got a big show tomorrow, July 1st. Where is he?
Somewhere.
So, crawling under a table somewhere, hiding from his adoring public. Oh, back there. Hi. So yeah, how was your week? What'd you do?
It was really good. Well, we had Varla Jean Merman on the show last Friday, which was an incredible honor, and I managed to check out the show that night. I checked it out with Sunny, Todd, and Juo. We sat front row, which is the best way to see
That's
Varla.
how you always see Varla?
Yeah. You never know if you're going to get a Tic Tac thrown at you.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, there was litter on the stage, so I was worried, but
She's still doing that.
I think less dangerous things. Yeah. But the show was incredible. It was a lot of fun. I got to see a bit that is legendary of Varla's. That it was like, well, she used to do this, and I just thought I would never see it, and I got to see it.
Cheese Whiz?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know spoilers.
Oh, sorry. She's a colleague. It's okay.
Right. There was she broaches a controversial topic in the show. I mean, it's not controversial. It's just like she dedicated a small portion of her show to responding to her review in the Provincetown Independent last year, which I thought was hilarious and really showed why Varla has been one of the top drag performers in the entire world for the last 30 years.
I can't wait to go see it.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Good.
Also this week, one of my best friends, Alicia from Boston, was in town. She was staying at the AWOL with her brand spanking new baby. It's like so itty bitty, so cute. And we went around town. It was so much fun.
She was pushing a stroller around town?
Yeah.
All the way from the AWOL?
All the way at AWOL into town every day.
She's getting her steps
Yeah.
in.
We had dinner at Belena, which was incredible. They still have that cauliflower hummus dish, which I will get every time I go. And we checked out my first visit to the Red Inn as a guest. Sorry couldn't sit at the bar, but I don't think Louis is quite old enough to sit at a bar.
Okay. I mean, we saw you going outside to sit at a table, and we were like, but, okay, fine.
I couldn't have a less than 1 month old baby at the bar.
If that certain woman can sit there with a chihuahua every day of the week.
Certain woman.
Just pretend like it's a service dog.
This
baby is my service
This is my
animal.
service infant. Yeah,
I mean, everything's a service animal these days, so.
Oh my God. But it was tons of fun, and it was cute watching Alicia with her baby on her lap and a martini in her hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations, Alicia.
Yeah, it was tons of fun. What did you get up to this week?
Well, last Sunday was the 76th annual blessing of the fleet. So I was out on a boat, but did not get blessed.
Oh.
So the captain of
You pulled up and they were like, not you.
the boat burst into flames.
Right.
Every boat around us burst into flames. No, the captain that was supposed to captain our boat was sick and couldn't come, and so a passenger who knows how to captain, he was like, well, I'm like a last minute captain and I don't feel comfortable doing this because it's a lot. If you've ever
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
all of the boats line up for blessing, if you're not used to it, it's kind of scary. People could get hurt. It's a huge job for the harbor master, so thanks to Don and his team for making it go smoothly as they did. But we, instead of getting blessed, went around to the Boy Beach and took in the scenery.
The scenery.
Yeah, jumped in, swam to the shore, and talked with everybody.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Different kind of fleet.
Community-minded.
Bob was #blessed.
No, my problem is I can literally see nothing without my glasses. So in order for me to swim to shore, I'm standing there and people are like, "Hey!" I'm like, no idea
love
who's
that.
waving at me. So it made me uncomfortable. So I swam back to the boat.
Nice.
But everybody else had a great time on the shore. And then on Wednesday, I saw Dina Martina.
How was that?
Fabulous.
I've
And-
heard this year's show is one of her best.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She's back in the cabaret, right?
No.
Oh, she in the Paramount?
She's in the Paramount.
Word, good for her.
Sold out show, giant room full of people that love and adore her. And I think, so that Dina was Wednesday. This upcoming Sunday, July 2nd, I'm seeing Miss Richfield. I'll see Varla next week. And then that's 3 of my Mount Rushmore. I'm trying to bang them out
Yeah, you
before
gotta get
we
'em
get
all.
too busy.
Yeah.
See all the shows, you guys.
Did you see
them
Thirsty's
now.
show on Sunday?
Yeah. Oh my God. So we do have to say, last Sunday night there was a benefit for Thirsty Burlington. She's back in the hospital. Her cancer has returned. And I would say about 20 of her closest friends and colleagues in town got together to put on a show of all Cher songs.
Work.
And so, there are a couple of other performers in town who are pretty famous for also playing Cher, like Randy Roberts, Jonathan Williams. And it was funny to watch somebody dressed as Cher singing a Cher song to Thirsty, and then Thirsty standing up and them duetting it.
Oh, I
And
figured
then-
she'd be like,
No, and then another Cher standing right behind them. I have a couple of videos that I was going to stitch together for you today, but I didn't. But it was
Great.
really beautiful. No, there were some people in the audience who don't live here, who it's their first time in Provincetown, and I was talking with them, and they were like, this is such a beautiful community, this kind of thing, it makes me want to move here, and it's the kind of thing that makes me really, really proud to live here. The way that we treat each other when somebody's down. We all love Thirsty, and I think they raised something like $20,000 in one night
That's incredible.
to help her pay for her medical bills, which are substantial. So, yeah, brilliant. Were you there?
No, I couldn't make it. I had rehearsal.
Oh.
Yeah, it's begun. And
Rehearsals
whenever-
for this?
Yeah, whenever you do a show, you hit a point where you're like, oh, this is what I will live and breathe for the next couple of weeks. We go into tech this week. We open not this coming Monday, the Monday after. Posters are up around town. Be sure to get your tickets to the Fantastics, opening June 10th and running through the last week in August, Monday through Thursday. It's
July 10th.
July 10th. It's really coming together. If you've ever done a musical, there's always a point where you're like, is this gonna happen? You always get to the point where you're like, oh no, this is not gonna come together. And the past couple rehearsals, I'm like, oh, we're doing a musical.
I saw a little Instagram clip of you guys fencing.
Yeah.
You were doing fight choreography?
Yeah.
Who's the choreographer?
David Drake.
Is he the one who told you how to hold your other hand while you're fencing?
I'm supposed to look
You-
like I don't know what I'm doing, Bob.
Then it's great. It looked great. I was like, do we fence like this?
No, in that scene, so there, if you don't know the show, in the Fantastics, there's this whole setup that makes my character appear to be a hero, and then in the second act, he's like, I'm a hero, and then they're like, no, you're not. We did all that. That was fake. And then that's the scene where I'm like, no, I am. I'm gonna fight you, and he's like, you're doing it all wrong, and beats me.
Then perfectly executed.
Ay.
I don't know anything about this show. I've never seen it. Have you guys seen this before? The longest running off-Broadway show of all time.
Yeah. And this, I know I've been talking about it already, but this is a rewritten version. It's been performed in this way just a couple times, but this is the first production that is working closely with Tom Jones on this rewrite, where it's usually about a young boy-girl couple and their fathers and how their fathers kind of meddle in their relationship, and it's been rewritten to be about 2 young gay men and their mothers. It's really fun.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Get your tickets.
Oh, one more thing from this past week.
Okay.
Last night I got to go to Terra Luna for dinner. You guys,
I
when's the
heard
last
a
time you-
rumor
What is it?
that it's their last season.
It is their last season. Tony confirmed that last night when we were having dinner. Go out and have dinner at Terra Luna before it's all over and done with.
Yeah, I've only been there once before, and it was on a date, and they sat us at a table. Like when you walk in, there's a patio to your left, and there's just one table on the right. They sat us at that table, and it has absolutely no lighting. And I got this like chicken pasta garlic dish, but because it was so dark and all of those things were the same color, like everything looked the same on the plate. So I'd like put a couple things on my fork and take a bite and be like, oh, that was 3 cloves of garlic that I just ate.
Delicious.
I kept trying to like feed it to my date so that I wouldn't be the only one eating multiple cloves of garlic on this date. But it was cute.
That doesn't sound like a ringing endorsement. But
Oh, it was delicious. I would eat
Great.
a bowl of garlic cloves any day. I'm not even joking.
it was delicious. It was fantastic. I love those guys. So go to Terra Luna this summer.
Yeah, definitely. It's your last chance, which is unfortunate. I think it is another victim of real estate greed. I'm not sure, but I think it might be.
You'll have to ask Tony when you go have dinner there.
Perfect. Do you got anything else, or should we do some news?
Let's
Let's
do
do
some-
events.
Okay.
Today is the first iteration of Pool Boy, which is James Cerny's party over at the Crown and Anchor Pool. They're basically doing, I think they're doing like Monday through Saturday pool parties every day, Andrew? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Monday is Clam Jam. Wednesday is Joeau's party. Friday is Pool Boy with James Cerny. And then weekends are weekends. Perfect. Yeah.
You nailed it.
Yeah. Also, this Sunday right here at the brewery is Dyke Dock, and they're also Babes and Boys is doing a full moon party this Monday, 2 to 5 at Porch Bar. Their last one was it Strawberry Moon? The last one? Last one was Strawberry Moon. I heard it was incredible. They're doing tarot card readings again, but get there early and put your name on the list because the list got really long and you didn't get to everyone. That
You
also,
can't stay into them all if the list is like.
yeah, that sounds emotionally exhausting.
The QR code is in the bottom left.
QR code is here? Work,
Bottom
I
left,
did
right?
it.
Oh, our left? Oh. Okay.
I would just have started telling people they're all like you're flip a card. You're like you're an awful person. Go away.
That's not how that works.
It can be. You would be right most of the time. Honestly.
Most of the time.
Also tonight is Friday nights at the movies. Is the first one. It's going to be Moonstruck at 8:25 at Water's Edge Cinema.
At Mary Heaton Vorse House.
Mary Heaton Vorse House. It's through the Film Society though.
Correct.
Great.
Link in description. And if you've never seen Moonstruck, Trevor says this is you can see exactly why Nicolas Cage became as famous as he is when you watch this movie. And you also understand why Cher won that Oscar.
Is this the one where he steals the Declaration of Independence?
No. Does he? No,
In
that's
Moonstruck?
that's Moonstruck 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, they're trying to pry it out of the case, and they're like, snap out of it! Right? No? Okay.
No, none of that. No. Go see Moonstruck tonight if you have time. That's Peter's favorite movie.
No way. I love that. Okay, let's do some news. Oh, also this Sunday, they had to cancel it last week because of some illnesses, but we had Joeau on the show last Friday to sing one of his songs from Unholy and also talk about his new show. It didn't end up going up this past Sunday night, so this coming Sunday is opening night. Get your tickets. It's going to be killer. It's called Unholy. It is 7 o'clock in the Cabaret. Newly renovated. I heard it's gorgeous. I haven't had a chance to peek in yet, but it's going to be awesome. Get your tickets.
And if you're counting on going to some of your favorite weekly Tuesday events, they might not be happening this Tuesday because it is the 4th of July. So see you next Tuesday is skipping a week, right?
Right.
You deserve the time
Take a
off.
break.
Enjoy Independence Day.
Right. You also had an artist showcase that heavily featured women and non-binary performers here in town. I didn't get to make it rehearsal, but I saw pictures and it looked like it had some really incredible energy, some really incredible performers. So will there be another, I imagine?
Stay tuned.
I will stay tuned.
Follow Babes and Boys on Instagram and TikTok
Yeah.
and everywhere else that you're on social media.
Yeah. Okay, news.
You have TikTok, right?
Let's
They're on it now.
let's do local news last because it's all sad.
Okay.
Let's get back to what you opened the show with.
Madonna.
Yeah. So, Madonna in the past few weeks, she developed a serious bacterial infection, which led to a several-day stay in the ICU. On Saturday, she is still under medical care, but she is back home. Her health is improving, and she is expected to make her full recovery. But because of this, they did have to postpone several of their tour dates, including the start date. It was supposed to go up on July 15th in Vancouver. They've canceled many show dates. They have yet to announce a new start date to the tour or reschedule any of those. Do you know? You have tickets to the show, right?
Shh.
Huh?
They canceled a bunch?
No, I'm postponed, I think. When is yours supposed to be?
August 30th.
I think you're good.
I hope so.
Yeah, are you seeing her in Boston?
Yes, she will be at TD Garden on Wednesday, August 30th. It's the Wednesday before Labor Day.
What?
Yeah. TD Garden, the basketball.
big ones.
Yeah. Not the football stadium, but the basketball stadium.
She's not playing like stadiums, or is this just the Boston?
The TD Garden.
TD
It's
Garden's
a stadium.
pretty. It's yeah. It's
Yeah.
it-
I
yeah.
thought it was like an indoor, like.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
indoor. Yeah.
I'm thinking.
That'd be cool.
I know what I'm saying.
So Foxwoods? No, Foxborough, where they play football, like where Beyonce and Taylor Swift played, is I think bigger than TD Garden, right?
Totally.
So it's just a little bit smaller
Is this
than
her
where Beyonce
fair-
and Taylor.
The point I'm trying to.
Yeah, she's not in the biggest stadium, Ethan. Okay. She's
Is
in the
this
second biggest
Is this
stadium.
her farewell tour?
It's her greatest hits tour.
Okay.
It's her first ever. It's the 40th anniversary of her debut album.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the last 40 years of her music and of
Yeah.
American pop culture, really.
Honestly, I mean, like, she has such a hand in the creation of pop music and the direction in which pop music has gone. Yeah.
So a speedy recovery, Madonna. We
Yeah.
can't wait to see you at TD Garden, which is only the second largest venue in Boston. Thank you, Ethan.
That's going to be an amazing show. She even hired Bob the drag queen to be like an opening act of sorts, which is really cool. Let's do everything else is sad. I guess that's sad too, Madonna being sick. But so it was announced this week that Nancy Pelosi is going to be hosting a fundraiser for U.S. Representative Ruben Gallego, who is running for a Senate seat in Arizona. This is kind of scandalous. I mean, I guess it makes perfect sense, but so the Senate seat in Arizona is currently held by Kristen Sinema, who was a registered Democrat, and over the past year, she announced that she was leaving the Democratic Party and registered as an independent. That is fine with, I think, every Democrat on the planet, considering she very much opposed a lot of Biden's agenda and also supported keeping the filibuster, which blocked most of Biden's priority legislation. Gallego has a string of 100% scores from the HRC congressional scorecard, and he seems like a great candidate. I haven't got a chance to really dig in, but it might end up being a three-way race, as she is a registered independent. So she might run as independent, this person might run as a Democrat, and the Republicans might put up another person, so we'll see.
Which part is controversial?
I mean, the fact that she's technically like the incumbent Democrat, even though she's not registered Democrat anymore.
No, she's like those frogs from Jurassic Park. She changed sex in order to reproduce. Wait, right? Isn't that what happened?
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way. Cinema finds a way. Fuck her. Get her the fuck out of there.
There we go.
I don't think that's controversial.
No, but one of my favorite political accounts on TikTok is the Pocket Report, and one of my favorite things she ever said was, she's just proof that no one who wore Converses to prom should hold a political office.
There are people in the room gasping at the
Who wore
audacity.
Converse to prom? Anyone?
With a vintage tux.
With a vintage tux.
Yeah, I want to see that picture.
Vintage trucks in 1960.
Oh.
It's getting hot in the
I
tap
know.
room, you
So
guys.
there has been let's do the next story. There's been a string of great news in regard to the legislation against queer people happening across the country, and in another judge's decision that went against these drag bans and banning on gender-affirming care. In Florida, a federal judge in Orlando temporarily blocked the Florida drag ban bill. This came after the Orlando franchise of the Hamburger Marys sued the state, and the judge made an injunction barring the state from enforcing the law while the court case proceeds. The owner of Hamburger Marys said that his business is suffering even though his events have always been family friendly. So we're seeing mostly great news coming from judges saying that this legislation can't hold up. There is, I think Tennessee just had a judge allow, I think, but it's one of the only ones that I've read as of late. So it seems to be moving in the right direction. A lot of these judges are Trump appointees, which is also another good sign that they might not be entirely corrupt and actually enforcing the law.
It's going to be an ongoing, uphill, lengthy battle
Yeah,
to strike these things down, because that's just a temporary block.
right, exactly.
But we'll see. I mean, the almighty dollar will have the final say. So if a gay bar sues the state and wins, then they're going to take that law away.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
Sue the fuck out of them.
If you're a fan of Queen of the Universe, there's some bad and good news happening. So Queen of the Universe is an American Idol style drag singing competition that is currently in the midst of its second season. Unfortunately, Paramount Plus announced the cancellation of 4 shows on their roster, including Queens of the Universe. The other shows were Rise of the Pink Ladies, Star Trek Prodigy, which is the first animated show set within the Star Trek universe, and it heavily featured queer and non-binary characters. They also, I don't know if this is common practice, but they also announced that they're going to be taking all of the shows off the streaming platform.
What does that mean?
So usually they'd cancel it, like when Netflix would do a show and do 2 or 3 seasons, you can still watch all of those on Netflix.
Oh, they're removing stuff that's already aired.
Within days. They,
Oh.
I mean, this story came out 3 days ago, so Queens of the Universe might already be removed, which I feel like it has to do with fucking over writers, right? Because they probably have to pay residuals if they keep them on the platform. Yeah. I think a lot of this has to do, not with the writer's strike, but the grievances within the writer's strike is like
This is why they're striking.
Yeah, this is why they're striking. The way that contracts are done for streaming services not only negatively affects the writers, but it also negatively affects the creative process, because it's standard practice to be like, oh, you get, the showrunner will get this much for the first season, a bigger amount for second season, a bigger amount for the third season, and they're just like, the show's doing okay, but we don't want to do that big bonus, so we'll just cancel it.
Wow.
And then they pull it so they don't have to pay residuals, and which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But it was announced last night that WoW, World of Wonder, which is the producer of this show, and as well as like Drag Race. We had Fenn Bailey on the show a couple weeks ago to talk about World of Wonder. He was the creator of that production company. Would take over and move the show to WoW Presents Plus, which is their streaming platform.
Great.
Yeah, it is great.
Happy ending.
Yeah. So this, in November of 2022, a gunman walked into Club Q nightclub in Colorado and killed 5 people and also wounded 17. He was in the courtroom this past Wednesday. He basically pled guilty to all of the counts. He was, and then they allowed the victims and the victim's family to speak to him. It was really emotional and emotionally charged, but they are going to forego a trial entirely and just sentence him, which will likely either be the death penalty or life in prison.
Another happy ending. Bring them on. More happy ending
Not
news
necessarily
stories.
happy, but justice.
No
to an
sad
extent.
stuff, just happy stuff today.
I don't really have much. Well, so this past, the June 27th was supposed to be the day that Sal Del Deo was to be out of his dune shack. In mid-April, the parks sent him a letter saying that he had 30 days to vacate. After an appeal, they gave him an additional 60 days, which gave it to 90, which would brought him to June 27th. And instead of removing his belongings and turning over keys on that day, they held a sit-in with supporters of Del Deo, and he's like, I'm not leaving.
It was in CNN.
Yeah.
Like, people that live far from here texted me, like, the story, and they're like, look what's happening in your town. I'm like, yeah, girl, I know.
Yeah. But Ed Markey, Elizabeth Warren, and other members of the political system here in Massachusetts did issue a letter asking for them to give him a special permit to stay for a period of time. They didn't say how long, but I don't know. He did say that he hopes to celebrate his 95th birthday in August in his dune shack.
Or he said he's definitely going to be in the dunes either way, whether it's inside that shack or outside of it, he will be out there celebrating his birthday.
Yeah.
And I would encourage Sal, who's going to be 95 on that day, if he's not inside of the shack, to just walk around it naked outside. Whoever wins that lease, you know, show them the beauty, the cultural history of the dunes.
Yeah. One last news story. It is extremely controversial.
What?
So I first got word of this happening on a friend's Instagram story. He posted that he was had heard that this has happened. I never really saw anything else until an article came out in the Provincetown Independent this week. So on June 18th, three Provincetown police officers responded to the East End basketball court. There was a 911 call and a report of a kid dancing with a gun in his hand. The report was found to be false. When police arrived at the basketball court, they found 5 Black or Hispanic males in their late teens. A 16-year-old, they said, matched the caller's description and was handcuffed. They were frisked and held for over 10 minutes, and the police indeed found no firearm. And in response to this, on June 26, 35 people gathered at the playground, which was the site of the incident, to have a discussion. Town manager Alex Morse called it a conversation about what happened and an opportunity to listen to people's experience and suggestions for how we move forward as a community. In the discussion that happened there, some of the young men who were at the basketball court said that although no guns were drawn, one of the victims did say that the officer did have his hand on his belt where his gun was, and that he also kept saying, "I'll fucking shoot."
The cop kept saying that?
Yeah.
This is traumatizing. That person will never get over this. He's going to live with that for the rest of his life.
Right.
And he's 16.
I know we all live in this community, and I feel like we view our community as a safe space for everyone because it is a safe space for a certain subgroup that is historically marginalized, is in queer men, specifically queer white men, and we kind of allow that to give ourselves a pat on the back, and kind of we like let go of our responsibility to constantly force ourselves to be better and do better, and we often look at the rest of the world as this place that we're better than, and like this is exactly the type of things that are happening. This person called in, saw 5 Black and Hispanic teenagers and assumed that there was danger and called the police. And I feel like it is common knowledge that when you call the police on young people of color, there is a chance that they will die. That is statistically correct, and I feel like people are going to be shocked, but I don't think that they should be. This town is I don't want to say historically racist, but it is. There's racism that exists here, and it is all of our jobs to be thoughtful and do better and work towards making this a safe space for everyone, as we have made it a safe space for queer white men.
What happens to the person that calls something like that in? That's what I want to know.
It is illegal in the state of Massachusetts to make a false police report, but I think it's one of those things where they're like, oh, they thought they saw, which kind of lets them off the hook a little.
They thought they saw a teenager dancing with a gun?
Right.
What is this, West Side Story?
I mean, these young men were they were like, I've been playing basketball here 3 to 5 days a week for the last 10 years.
Right.
Like the police, it's crazy to me that the police don't know me, the community doesn't know me. Like, I'm a member of this community, I play here all the time, yet I was still treated as like a criminal. In this conversation, it also, some of the victims said that there's often a police car parked across from the basketball court, which I feel like they have to understand the implications of having young people of color playing basketball and seemingly be watched by a policeman.
Just turn it into a pickleball court.
They tried.
Right, they did try. I do have a question for you. I heard, so have you ever been in a nightclub in Provincetown and
No.
had police walk in?
Oh, yeah.
You have, okay.
But this is the thing, is it used to be, we all knew the cops on a first name basis. So when a cop walked into Purgatory and I was working, I was like, what's up, Larry?
Right.
Like, it's not, I don't know any of them anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that was one, as far as my support for the new police station, that was one of the biggest things for me. It's like, if we create better infrastructure around our police officers, I hope that this will create an opportunity for people to really become career police officers here in Provincetown so that we can have that again.
We need that again.
Where our police officers know the community, they know the people that live here and can be positive forces within our town. Because of the horrible state of the past police station, it's hard to keep people here.
Right.
Like, why are people going to spend the outrageous amount of money it costs to live on the Cape to then have their office be in a moldy basement?
Right.
When they could go somewhere else, pay less rent, and be in a nicer facility. I'm hoping that it will entice people to stay here, live here, and our police force can instead be a part of our community and a force for good within our community. Instead of these people who are shipped in for 3 to 4 or 5 months, we have no idea. There's no ties to the community, and having a tie to the Provincetown community means that you are understanding of and knowledgeable about what this community is, rather than coming in and being like, oh, you don't know that these people are respectful of the queer community, respectful of the our immigrant population. I don't know.
Well, hopefully having that big, new, beautiful station will encourage people to want to stay on and work here, but also, where are they going to live?
Right.
Cops need a place to live too.
Please read
We're getting to wrap it up.
Oh. Please read the article in the Provincetown Independent. There's a lot of really incredible information. My takeaway was that there has to be a little more responsibility taken for these actions. It seems like there was not a lot of responsibility taken. At this select board, John Golden also said an apology is not even near what needs to happen here, and I agree.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's take it away to my interview with Tim Convery of Timscapes.
Good morning, everybody. I'm at Timscapes with Tim Convery at 208 Commercial Street in his shop. How are you?
Good.
Thanks
Good.
for making
Good.
a little time to chat with me.
Sure, absolutely.
So you're entering your 11th season in this location.
I know, I can't believe it.
Time
It's
flies,
like I was
doesn't it?
supposed to be here for one summer, 2010, and now 11 years later, actually 12 years later, I'm still here.
That's the story. I came for one summer, and all these years later.
Well, I think that's a very popular story in P-Town, where I'm just coming for the weekend,
Yeah.
and then it's like 20 years later, you're here and on the select board and dog catcher and doing everything.
Integrating, becoming part of the community.
Right.
So where were you before Provincetown?
I was in New York for 30 years doing design, doing advertising, product design, all that kind of stuff, and didn't realize I hated it. And so I got fired, and that was actually great because it forced me to get off my ass and figure out what I really wanted to do. So I went to massage school, of course, after being in advertising, and came to P-Town to do massage for 2 summers, and then I rediscovered this love I had for making stuff with tape, specifically graphics. And so the winter of 2010, I made all these, I call them Tapescapes, and they were different, like these, but only 30 by 40. These are mini versions. But it's almost like I'm obsessed with travel posters and tape, so it was sort of this way to kind of bring the two together. Ended up having a show here in P-Town, and then we sold t-shirts that were based on the designs. And then the guy, Alex Carlton, said, you should really open a store. I was like, no way. And it's the thing I was meant to do. So I think that's the cool thing about P-Town. I think you can crash and burn here, and literally burn and crash, but you can kind of crash here or land here, then you kind of find out who you really are,
Right.
which is, I think that's what happened to me.
Yeah, this is like a whole new second or third act.
Yeah, third, fourth, fifth. No, I think this is my last act, but yeah, it's been really amazing.
And what do you got new in the store this year for people?
Oh man, we've got these new water bottles. I call it H2O to go. They come in these bright colors and stainless steel. Obsessed with OP shorts. That's what these look like. That's what they're based on. It's this cool company out of California called Hammies, and I worked with them over the winter, and we logoized them. And people are kind of freaking out about them, men and women. I thought it would only be men, but I think this is the perfect summer that you need. You know what you need? You need this a credit card, and some pepper spray. I think that's all you need. That you need for a summer in Provincetown. And a slice of pizza.
How long have you been working with Speedo?
A couple of years. I've never even worn one of these.
No?
Because I don't think I could get out of it once I get into it. And the thing that's funny about Speedos is this competition style, they run really, really small, and the queens freak out.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I've never been a 32, I've never been a 34. I'm like, look, we can just cut the label out of this, girl. But they're like, there's this one queen, she came to the window, like banging on the window in the middle of the winter, opened the door. Oh, honey, I need these Speedos. Finally come in, she comes in April, tries them on, looks at the sizing, wants to wear a 30, can't wear a 30, just marches out. She can't deal. She can't deal. Now these, you have to go down a size. So that's why these are going to fly out of the door. So you could be a 28 possibly, you know? So this is,
Not me,
there's a
but
lot
you.
of hope in this one.
And after such a long life working in New York in, you know, marketing as being like part of something, here it's really all you.
Yeah, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
Like I've had people approach me, would you sell my this or that? And I'm like, I don't really do other people's stuff.
Right.
You know, like the Speedo thing and the Hammies thing, I like working with people and making something, or at least localizing it. Like I did something with Igloo Coolers, but I like it because I like controlling the whole experience. Like people ask me, are you an artist? Or they'll call me an artist, and I have a hard time like dealing with that. I feel like I know that I like to communicate with people. I know that I want people to have this fun experience, and I also think that the way I communicate with the store is very different than the way I communicate one-on-one. It's almost a different, more like emotional, playful part of me that I can't really express like one-on-one, day to day, but with the products, like a whole other side of me comes out, you know? And someone asked me, what's the store like? And I feel like it's kind of like a punk version of Sesame Street, because it's got like an edge to it, but it's sort of cute, you know? It's like,
It's fun.
Yeah.
Colorful, fun, expressive, and it's all you.
yeah, yeah.
So you guys come in and say hi to Tim
Hey guys.
at 208 Commercial Street, Timscapes, celebrating their 11th season in this location. Thanks for taking a couple minutes
Great,
to chat.
thanks, good
And
meeting
we'll
you,
see
thank
soon.
you. Bye.
Go over there and say hi to Tim. Get yourself a t-shirt and a cooler.
I
And
want one of those little corduroy shorts.
you need a Speedo.
Oh yeah. Like yeah, I need another Speedo, like a hole in the head.
Please welcome back to the show two of my favorite artists who have openings this weekend. Jenn Bradley, who's going to be at the Schoolhouse, and Michael Steutz, who's going to be up at the Hawthorne Barn. You guys, thank you so much for making a couple minutes.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, always.
So Jenn, tonight at the Schoolhouse.
Tonight at the Schoolhouse, I have a show. It's new work. So I still do my gorillas. I still do my Hustler project, but this show is, I needed to make new abstract paintings and not repeat myself in any way. It's still the way I work. I still use all these different materials, layers, but it was like this idea that I couldn't stand boring myself, and just had to like shake it up, I guess. That sounds stupid, but like I just had to do something that was,
Reinvention.
yeah,
A little bit.
just I make a painting I didn't already know how to make, but with all the themes that I use,
Right.
and so it was kind of intense because I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do.
Challenging yourself in a fun, creative way.
But it's like when you first start doing stuff, you're always excited about it,
Right.
And then
You're like, oh, I have to
start
keep
be
doing
like,
this.
Oh, I kind of know how to make this paint, or I make this version. So that was kind of the idea of this.
And what time's the opening tonight?
6 o'clock.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
And you?
Me?
Yeah. I mean, this show's a big deal for you, right?
Yeah, it's you know, I was going through thousands and thousands of negatives and just like, you know, going through all my work, and I was like, this is really a show that I need to do. And, you know, I've been coming here, like, you know, me and my brother and my best friend, we rode up here on our bikes from New Bedford, you know, like 30 some odd years ago, and been
Bicycles?
shooting, yeah, on
Wow.
bicycles, yeah. I've been shooting. Yeah, my father dropped us off in the van. He was like, you know, call me from the payphone once a week. So, yeah, and we've been here, you know, ever since. And, you know, I've been shooting, and I was like, this is a show that really resonates, and I really wanted to, you know, show it. I really wanted the community to see it. I have such roots here, and I love it. So.
Why is this show specifically so important to you?
Well, so I'm kind of a purist. I shoot film, I shoot negative film from a 4x5 camera or a medium format camera. And as the, you know, technology is going, all the dark rooms are closing in New York. Kodak stopped producing paper. Fuji's right behind them. Next is film. We're all being forced to go, you know, digital. Soon there'll be a chip in your palm and be like, beep. So this is really kind of almost my last chance. Like, it took me 3 weeks to even find the paper because I do all my own printing in the darkroom, and yeah, like to find the paper just to do that. So it's important to me, like, this is, you know, it's coming to an end. That's what I do. I don't like computers, I don't do all that. I'm not a digital guy.
You're not gonna turn to digital? Are you saying you're retiring after this?
No, yeah, I'm gonna become an actor.
I love it.
Excellent.
So a lot of the images we're gonna see, are they new work, or is it
Yeah,
kind
well,
of...
they've never been seen, but it's
Okay.
all like, you know, it's Provincetown portraits of some people we know, some we don't. It's all big format. I usually do a lot of mural prints, and yeah, it's a big show. There's 105 pieces.
Damn.
And this is
Yeah,
tomorrow.
That's a lot of hours in the dark room.
I've been sucking chemicals in the dark room for like weeks.
Well, you wear your respirator, right?
No.
Window
My
crack.
God.
What time's the show?
It's 6 to 10 o'clock on Saturday at the Hawthorne Barn. There's no parking up there, so anyone who does attend, you know, take a pedicab, walk up, take your bicycle.
There's hardly a place to put a bike, too, though.
No, there is. You just throw it in the weeds right there.
That's what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
But go check these two out today and tomorrow. I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
love
for being
too.
so early. Congratulations.
I also love the support you guys have
Oh,
for
and
each other
also
as an artist.
Fantastics. My husband was just telling me, oh, I went for 20 years and saw the Fantastics. So
It's gonna be a really good
we're
one.
excited to see your show.
Yay, thank
Yeah.
you.
All right.
Awesome.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna go to Carolyn Carney over at the Commons now. Take it away.
Good morning. We are here with Caroline Carney. She is an artist that is here at the Commons for this season. Thanks so much for sitting down with me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So how long have you been here at the Commons?
At the Commons since I first got a studio here in the winter of 2020.
Is that when you arrived here in Provincetown?
I got here mid-season before that, so in July 2020.
Really cool. Where'd you come from?
Philadelphia.
Nice. What made you land here?
Kind of the pandemic and just like reflecting during that time when everything shut down. I just wanted to be somewhere different, and got a job in a restaurant here, so I got some
Right.
housing, and then I just moved.
What restaurant were you in?
Canteen.
Oh, cute. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
They're really great. They provide housing. It's important.
I know.
So you have a job, you have a house, and then you have this incredible workspace.
Yeah.
How has it been like producing work here at the Commons?
Really nice. This like finding space is a big deal, so the space alone is huge,
Mhm.
and the community is really supportive.
Mhm.
Yeah, and an opportunity to hang up your work and
Definitely.
you know get that exposure is a really big deal.
So what do you typically like to paint as far as subject matter? I see oysters, very P-Town.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, all kinds of things. Like I'm interested in like stuff you see in a restaurant.
Mhm.
I like architecture. I like buildings, streetscapes, landscapes. It's pretty eclectic.
It's kind of just whatever catches your eye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I take a lot of photos and draw from that.
So how did you land here in Provincetown? Do you have any connections here, or?
Yeah, my family would come to Wellfleet when I was a kid, and it was just always like a beautiful, happy place to me. So yeah.
What better place to be than a place that's happy where you can produce art and have a wall to hang it on?
Yeah. Feel lucky.
That's really cool. So what mediums do you typically enjoy working with?
I started out doing watercolor, but then I got into oil.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But satisfying.
Great. I love that. Awesome. So your work's up in the hallway now. We'll show you a little of that in a second. But great. How is it like working here in this space with all the other artists? Do you get along with everyone?
Yeah. People are really like nice and collaborative to the degree of just you're able to have a conversation about whatever it is, like a technical question or just what are you doing? I like this. There's a lot of like kind of casual criticism available, which is helpful.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're alone somewhere banging your head against the wall. It's easy when you have a couple extra thoughts to help you through.
And it's motivating. It's great.
It's really cool. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sitting down with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And here to do Sunday from Sunday in the Park with George is the Peregrine Theater Company's ensemble that's going to be opening their Sondheim tribute show very shortly.
Can you scoot down there? Wow. Beautiful. Come on over.
Hi.
How are y'all doing? That was incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you for being willing to sing at 9:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Always ready.
Right.
Are you the musical director?
I am the director choreographer, and Kelly is our fabulous musical director.
I was watching you listen, and I'm like, that person is in charge of this. He was like, Very beautiful. It's so nice to have you guys back after all this time.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's nice to be back. It's been a minute, and it feels great.
So Peregrine Theater Company, of course, is one of Provincetown's most beloved theater troupes, and your last show was in 2019.
Yeah, right before the world shut down.
Yeah.
The pandemic really did a number on theater across the world, so you know, it's nice to be back.
Have you guys been keeping busy?
You know, it turned into a digital time for all of the people in the theater, which was bizarre. But you know, we've all sort of did our best to sort of keep arts alive and functioning and showing up and being creative. And so, but it's nice to be back in the theater with live human beings.
Yes, it makes a difference going from the screen to live bodies. It's quite the nice transition.
Right. Have you all been doing virtual performances through Peregrine?
Not through Peregrine.
Okay. Just like the theater world in general.
Yeah.
All those taped auditions and
Zoom this, Zoom that, Zoom theater. It was a rough time.
Are most of the performers in the show local to Cape Cod, brought in, or New York?
It's a mix of both. We have some incredible Provincetown local talent, and then also some New York community members that are coming out to spend some time here and get to experience B-Town for the summer, which is great and important for Peregrine to bring new folks out to experience the joy and the beauty of Provincetown.
Definitely, especially incredibly talented performers.
Yeah, it's blessed.
Kelly, are you from New York?
No, I'm not from here. I'm a bit of a nomad, originally from Maryland, but it's nice to travel and see new cities and make music with new people. It's a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Bob's from Delaware.
I was born in
Oh,
Baltimore.
no way. Oh my gosh, I'm from Annapolis, not too
Get outta
far.
here.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
What about you?
From Seattle originally, and then I went to college in Boston, which is where I met Adam. We went to college together, and then after college they came out here and sort of started Peregrine.
Yeah.
So when they were ready to start doing some big giant shows, they were like, time to do it, let's go. So yeah, it's been great to come out every season and sort of make some theater.
Who's the biggest Sondheim fan? Whose idea was this?
Ooh, that's tough.
Ooh, that's a tough competition. On the Zoom, we were always like, oh, this idea, this idea, trying to sort of create the show from scratch. And we have a cool opportunity to create a new Sondheim review. They have a new license, right, where we can sort of take a little bit from each show and create
so
something
cool.
really special. Yeah.
Because there's some like standard Sondheim review shows. Now they're offering licensing where you can kind of build it yourself.
Yeah, which has been a fun project, you know, to build Sondheim that we're so familiar with, but putting some new spins on some of the music. So some of them you might recognize, but maybe not this particular arrangement of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was overwhelming in the beginning. I mean, all of a sudden they're like, you can have the entire Sondheim catalog to choose from, and we were like, oh
There's
my
so
god.
much.
So you kind
Where
of
do you
lay it all out.
start?
Yeah, you lay it all out and you just start picking and choosing, and also trying to figure out, you know, what would make it not just a concert. You know, how can we make this a theatrical event, and you know, what's the narrative that we're trying to put together and structure. So that's been really interesting and really fun, and also it's been a great collaborative process with the artists themselves. You know, like what pieces do you respond to as humans, and what's the human experience here, and how can we shape it and sort of put it into a larger cohesive experience. It's been great.
Do you kind of cover most of Sondheim's works, or?
Yeah, I mean, the rules were kind of interesting. They say you can pick this amount of songs per show, you know, so that sort of gave us a little bit of framework, but
We had a chart.
Yeah, we did have a chart, yeah. And you want to kind of give everybody, you know, the ones that they're expecting and hoping for, but then also some ones that they're like, oh, maybe I've never heard that before, or that's a really interesting song that's from this sort of obscure piece of that he created, you know, at a certain point. So.
Yeah, no, there's always more Sondheim to discover.
Oh,
I was on
always.
TikTok a few days ago and someone was performing a song which I'm probably embarrassed to say that I had never heard before, but it was great. It was a brand new song for me.
Yeah, yeah. There'll be a lot of that and a lot of your favorites, you know, which is really great. And then too, you're gonna feel like you're seeing a show. So it's not just like, you know, what you can get, you know, around town. There's incredible concert artists. There's incredible drag performers. The diversity of performance in Provincetown is amazing. But it's really nice to be able to have a giant theatrical event that you can go to and sort of like get that big musical experience.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
What's your favorite number to work on been so far?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. Honestly, we're doing a really cool version of Pretty Women that is like one of my favorites, I will say, but also Sunday brings me to tears every time. I was trying to hold it together up there, like, stay cool, stay cool.
I cried a little.
I mean, even yesterday when we were laying the track down, we were like, hey, quiet in the theater, we're just gonna lay the track down. And you know, all 5 of us and the creative team were just sort of sitting there listening to that music. And even without text, there's an emotional response to that. It was like oddly emotional. Really, really stunning.
There's some challenging harmonies built into a lot of Sondheim, and I would say especially that song.
Mm-hmm.
How's that been, being the music director?
You know what? It's a fun puzzle. view harmonies like that as trying to fit, okay, what voice, where's the crunch, where do we get to breathe a little bit? And I don't know how much fun everybody else has been having with it. I've been having a lot of fun with it.
They're
yes.
still smiling.
Okay, good.
They are still smiling. A couple more days till we open, so
Yeah.
hopefully we'll stay there. But it's also been really great to sort of lens into this Sondheim material with an all-female company. You know, it's been
that's
really
really
cool. And to revoice some of this stuff has been, I find, really incredibly satisfying and amazing.
When's opening night?
July 5th. We do a townie preview night on Monday, then we take a breather for the 4th of July, and then off we go. The run opens on Wednesday.
How many nights a week?
4 nights a week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Saturday, yes.
Yep.
At Fisherman Hall?
Fisherman Hall, right up the hill, up at the school.
Great.
Yep.
What are your favorite Sondheim shows? You have to pick.
Ooh,
You have
tough.
to pick a couple.
I mean, Sweeney Todd is really kind of perfection.
Yeah.
know?
Are you liking the new stage?
you
I
see
show?
Josh
haven't
Groban?
seen it
Okay.
yet, but I've seen they're leaking out clips gently,
Yeah.
you know. So what I've seen looks really impressive, but it's just it's so brilliant. You know, we were those geeks in college that would like party on a Saturday and like listen to Sondheim and watch the score go by. You know, like
Yep.
it's that
Really
intense.
cool.
Yeah.
Just a wild and crazy Saturday
Oh my
night.
God, yeah, Rager. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I would say Sweeney as well. Also, I love Into the Woods. That's just
Yeah.
like a nostalgia one for me.
probably
But
my
Sweeney,
favorite.
it's like, the beautiful music. I love it so much.
I can't wait to see what you guys do.
Yeah, we're excited for everybody to get up there and see it too.
And I know it's too soon to even talk about it, but what's the next thing Peregrine's working on? You guys are always working on something, and I'm so glad that you're back because it means more theater.
For sure. The goal is to sort of start doing seasons that are more than one show. You know, usually in the past, pre-pandemic, we did Chicago, Hair, Cabaret, these big giant musicals, which is great. But then also we're hoping to incorporate, a 2 or 3 show season every summer. So
That would be
you'll get some
incredible.
smaller theater pieces, and also to cultivate new work. I think is really an important aspect. That now that we're back, we're able to sort of hone into some of the smaller stuff and bring new artists out to Provincetown to create, which is the essence and the spirit of Provincetown for generations.
Beautiful.
So yeah,
That's so exciting.
yes indeed.
Yeah, can't wait. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Yes,
We're
thank you
excited.
for
Break a
having
leg.
us.
Thanks for
Check us
singing
out.
at 9 in the morning.
Of
Ain't
course,
nothing.
happy to.
Thank you to all at home for watching. Yeah.
Thanks our sponsors.
The Crown and Anchor, Provincetown Brewing Company, The Boat Slip, the Provincetown Business Guild, Shipwreck at the Brass Key. Yeah.
I think we covered it. That's a show. You guys, thank you for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
Happy 4th of July.
Yeah,
And we'll
be
see you
safe.
soon.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake up, wake up.